If you're an expat or foreigner living in Latin America, there's one risk most people don't prepare for: digital fraud. Not street crime, not pickpocketing, digital scams. And the truth is, expats are often perfect targets. We're not talking about some small, isolated incidents. This is a massive, growing problem that's catching thousands of people off guard. Today, we're going to break down exactly why digital fraud is surging across Latin America, how scammers are specifically targeting foreigners and expats, and most importantly, the exact systems you can put in place right now to protect yourself and your money. Stay tuned, because the information in this video could save you from a financial nightmare. Across Latin America, the way people manage their money and communicate has completely transformed. Digital banking, messaging apps like WhatsApp, and all kinds of online services have exploded in popularity. This convenience is amazing, but it has a dark side. Fraud has grown just as fast. Criminals are getting smarter, and they're experts at exploiting the new digital landscape. They take advantage of weak identity verification systems at some institutions. They use leaked personal data from online databases, and they master social engineering through WhatsApp, SMS, and email. They also specifically target people who are unfamiliar with local systems. And that's where foreigners come in. You stand out not because you're careless, but simply because you're new. You haven't spent years learning the subtle red flags of a local scam, and criminals know this. They see an opportunity to exploit that gap in knowledge, and they are incredibly aggressive about it. So, why are expats such prime targets for these scams? It really comes down to a perfect storm of vulnerability. First, expats often don't fully understand local processes. How do you really pay that utility bill? What does an official email from the tax authority actually look like? This uncertainty is gold for a scammer. Second, the expat community relies heavily on WhatsApp and Facebook groups for information. While these can be helpful, they're also breeding grounds for misinformation and scams. You're constantly getting helpful advice from strangers, and it's hard to know who to trust. Third, you're juggling multiple banks, SIM cards, and official documents from both your home country and your new one. This creates a lot of mental clutter. Fraud thrives in confusion, and the process of relocating is naturally confusing. A scammer doesn't need you to be naive. They just need you to be overwhelmed, distracted, or in a hurry. And for someone navigating a new life abroad, it describes most days of the week. Now let's get into the specifics. What do these scams actually look like? Here are the 4 most common types of digital fraud targeting expats in Latin America. First up is the WhatsApp impersonation scam. You'll get a message that looks official, often with the logo of your bank or a government agency. It might say something urgent, like, "Your bank account has been blocked for a security review," or "Your phone number will be suspended if you don't verify your identity." The message will include a link. That link leads to a fake login page that looks identical to the real one. You enter your username and password, and just like that, the scammers have full access to your account. The second type is the fake payment request. This one is especially common for things like rental deposits, service fees, or even supposed government payments. Scammers will create professional-looking invoices or payment links. They might impersonate a real estate agent you've been talking to or a company you're trying to hire. Everything looks legitimate. The communication feels professional, but once you send the money, it's gone forever. They often target people who are trying to arrange housing or services from abroad, because you can't verify things in person. Third, we have bank and fintech phishing. This is similar to the WhatsApp scam, but usually comes through email or SMS. These messages will pretend to be from popular digital banks and fintech companies like Nubank, Inter, Mercado Pago, or even Wise. The email will claim there's a problem with your account, a suspicious transaction, or a new security update you need to install. The goal is always the same: to get you to click a malicious link and give up your login credentials. One click is all it takes for them to steal your information and potentially drain your accounts. These scammers are incredibly good at mimicking the branding and language of these companies, making the emails very convincing. Finally, and this is one of the most dangerous threats, is the SIM swap attack. This is where criminals hijack your phone number itself. They convince your mobile provider to transfer or port your number to a SIM card they control. Once they have your number, they can intercept all your calls and text messages. This includes the two-factor authentication codes that banks send to verify your identity. With control of your phone number, they can initiate password resets for your banking apps, your email, and everything else. Within minutes, they can lock you out of your own digital life and drain your financial accounts. Expats are particularly at risk because they might be less familiar with the local carrier's security procedures, making them easier targets for social engineering. You might be wondering, why do we keep mentioning Facebook and WhatsApp? Because these platforms, while essential for staying connected, dramatically amplify the risk of fraud. Think about it. Most expat groups on Facebook and WhatsApp are completely unmoderated. There's no verification process to join, which means scammers can easily slip in and pose as helpful members of the community. There's no accountability. If someone gives you bad advice or actively scams you, they can just disappear, delete their profile, and pop up with a new one the next day. Bad advice spreads like wildfire, and scammers can blend in with the noise, preying on people who are just looking for help. Social media creates a constant stream of information and noise, and fraud loves to exploit that noise. So, how do you actually protect yourself from all this? It's not about being paranoid. It's about being prepared. Here are 5 concrete steps you can take. First, separate your digital life. Don't use the same email address and phone number for everything. Have one dedicated email address that you only use for banking and financial services. Have one primary phone number linked to those financial accounts, and use a separate number for social media, WhatsApp groups, and everyday communication. This creates a firewall. If your social number gets exposed, your financial accounts are still safe. Second, lock down your SIM card. This is critical for preventing SIM swap attacks. Go into your phone's settings right now and enable a SIM PIN. This is a password for the SIM card itself. Also, contact your mobile carrier and ask about their security policies. Inquire specifically about SIM swap protection and see if you can add extra security layers, like requiring an in-person ID check before your number can be ported. Third, never, ever trust urgent messages. Fraud always creates a sense of pressure and urgency. Your account will be closed in 1 hour. You must pay this fine immediately. Real banks and legitimate institutions do not operate like this. They don't rush you into making critical security decisions over a text message. Scammers do. If you feel pressured, stop. That feeling is your biggest red flag. Fourth, verify before you pay anyone. Never send money, especially large amounts for deposits or fees, based solely on a WhatsApp or email conversation. If someone asks for money, find an independent way to verify it. Call the person or institution using a phone number you found on their official website, not one they provided in the message. For payments, double-check and even triple-check the account details. And fifth, use systems, not chats. Your life abroad is complicated. Don't try to manage it all through random WhatsApp chats, saved screenshots, and scattered emails. Organize your important documents, your verified contacts, and your list of trusted services in one secure, centralized place. This could be a secure notes app, a password manager, or a dedicated platform. When you have a clear system, you're less likely to be fooled by the chaos that scammers create. At Coterly, we believe that safety and confidence abroad start with having the right structure. The chaos of relocation is exactly what makes expats vulnerable, and we want to change that. That's why we're building tools specifically designed to help expats reduce that digital chaos. Our platform helps you securely organize your essential documents, find verified local services so you don't have to rely on unvetted advice from Facebook groups, and get access to emergency help when you need it most. We're focused on helping you build a solid foundation for your new life, because we know that fraud doesn't thrive where strong systems exist. We're building the system so you don't have to. If you're living abroad or planning to move, awareness is your first and most powerful line of defense. Knowing what to look for is half the battle. Now I want to hear from you. Comment below and let us know. Have you or someone you know ever experienced a digital scam while living abroad? Sharing your story can help others stay safe. And if you found this information valuable, make sure to follow Coterly for more content on smarter, safer ways to navigate life as an expat. Thanks for watching.